What's going on, 49er Faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy Niner Gang Podcast back in the building. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it. I know I'm out here looking super scruffy right now, but that's just how I feel, man, after that L. I know we had to wash it and get right back to it because we got to play the Commanders here and whatnot, but yeah, man, it definitely was. It was not a good game in any way, shape, or form. Like, and I don't think people understand that part. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, one thing I can tell you is a lot of people ain't panicking. What's going on, man? Yes, sir, Carcast. That's exactly what the fuck we do. That is exactly what we do, man. But you know what I'm saying? It's a startling situation because hey, what's going on, Roy Boy? Yeah, definitely a horrible game. What kills me is everybody, saying, "Oh man, this was like a one-off." Blah blah blah. Many say what's going on. I can tell you this: that's not a one-off game. We had three straight one-off games, and that wasn't good. And in this game, we got injured like nobody's fucking business on our offensive line. We lost Brock Purdy, but he had a stinger, so Purdy is fine. He'll be fine. Trent Williams has come out and stated he'll be okay. But Aaron Banks has re-aggravated that toe injury. We literally had to shuffle the whole fucking offensive line. We had Colt McKivitz at left tackle, Spencer Burford at right tackle, Feliciano at right guard, still Brindle at center, and then at left guard, I think we had Ben Barch. Like, we shouldn't get down to our last offensive line. That's how bad it was. And see, everybody, I don't know. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just a one-off. It's not a big deal." I'm sorry, that is a damn big deal. We played the Ravens. This was the best team in the AFC. This was really the moment for us to make a statement, and we did not. We wound up getting our ass kicked. They came in there and beat the shit out of us. They created turnovers. They did everything that they could to make us look bad. We look fucking pedestrian out there compared to the Ravens, and that ain't good. And the reason being is because we're going to have to see them possibly in the Super Bowl. And if we see them in the Super Bowl, I hope Kyle has a better fucking game plan than what he had there, because Kyle confuses me. And I'll take it back to the 2019 playoffs. And I know nobody likes to talk about that because that was years ago and we moved on. But I'm just using this as an example. We didn't use Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball the whole goddamn playoffs. We ran that damn ball. When he threw the ball and Kyle started getting a little scared, like, I don't know about this shit. Kyle was like, fuck that. We're taking the ball out of your hands and we're running it. Now, there's nothing against Brock Purdy. Way more efficient, better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. Smarter, does better things. But for you to see him throw one interception, two interceptions, three interceptions, four interceptions, and I'm not saying all of those are his. It was only one out of the three. I have to retract my second one. I kind of still feel like it was a bad decision, but his arm did get hit. So, I mean, it is what it is. So the Ravens created literally three turnovers, and we gave them one. Like, that's how bad we played. And it's all bad. So the defense took us to the Super Bowl that year, and so did Raheem Mostert, because he ran all over the goddamn Packers by his fucking self. And we decided to negate the fact that CMC is the best goddamn running back in football. I'm not understanding why. So the reason I use that as an example is because we get to the Super Bowl and Kyle magically wants to throw the goddamn ball. He magically wants to put the ball in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands. What are you doing? You didn't put the ball in that man's hands the whole fucking playoffs. And in the biggest game of your career as a head coach and his career as a football player, you going to give it back to him to fuck off? The Chiefs even came out and said we couldn't stop the run. I'm glad they stopped running. So to me, it didn't make sense. And a couple nights ago didn't make sense to me either. Why on earth are you coming out throwing the ball like nobody's business? And when you see that you start getting turnover after turnover, you know what you do? You calm your QB down, and you calm that defense down. They're riding high. They're creating turnovers. They don't give a fuck. They're coming. They're relentless. So you know what you do? You run the ball. and you run it some more. The thing that kills me about Kyle is he won't use the other backs on this roster to his advantage when other teams have nothing on them and don't really think about them because they know how Kyle works. He has put himself out there, and people are understanding what he does and doesn't like to do. So it's like, if I'm a team, I'm not preparing for Jordan Mason. I don't even give a fuck about Elijah Mitchell. I'm preparing for one running back. That's Christian fucking McCaffrey. That's who I'm preparing for. I'm not preparing for no damn body else. You know why? You ain't gonna use nobody else. Unless Kyle is up and we're beating the shit out of somebody toward the end of the game, you won't see Jordan Mason. And it doesn't make sense. You spell CMC by allowing Jordan Mason to get on the field and get some touches. Every time Jordan Mason touches the ball, he does something good. The man's averaging over 5 yards a fucking carry. I still don't understand why you have to fall in love with Elijah Mitchell, a player who can barely stay on the goddamn field, who can barely stay fucking healthy. Like, please, somebody help me make this make sense, because the math ain't fucking mathing. Jordan Mason does nothing but good. Jordan Mason averages 5 yards a carry, but he can't get not no burn on the field. But Elijah Mitchell can. It's not making sense. And you got to stop playing fucking favorites, bro. It would have been great to have Juwan in this game, because Juwan would have been able to possibly get under the skin to some of these Ravens players, get people ejected or get people pissed off, get us some, free yardage with some penalties. He's good at that. But we didn't have Juwan, and we didn't have Eric. Now, I believe that Juwan and Eric may be back for this game. I don't think so. I think they'll probably be back for the Rams. But what kills me really is the fact that it didn't make sense that you have other options and you won't use them. And it didn't make sense how you saw that throwing the ball was not being effective, but you kept throwing the fucking ball to the tune of five total fucking interceptions by the goddamn Ravens defense. 5. Like, I don't. He's stubborn as fuck because he thinks his way is going to work, and it drives me insane because when you see it's not working, and you're going through the game, bro. Come on. Somebody got to get in his ear. Hey, Kyle, do you have another game plan, dumbass? Because this shit ain't fucking working. You know what I'm saying? Brock's got to get in his ear and say, hey, man, we got to run the fucking ball a little bit, man. Let me chill. Because these motherfuckers is on my ass every time I do a drop back. You know what I'm saying? Run this motherfucker down their throats. That's what we do. We use the run. We use the run to set up the pass. That's how we always have been since he's been here. And I don't understand why he has to deviate from that and fuck around and try to turn Brock Purdy into a goddamn superhero. Like, I don't get it. The O-line was shit. We lost damn near all of it. And I see so many people just calm, cool, and collected. I'm like, yo, y'all better than me. I see issues. And one of the issues is we don't have any real backup offensive linemen now. Now, mind you, you're not going to find a great offensive lineman just hanging out on the streets. If there are good offensive lineman, teams have signed them and kept them, and they're not giving up. But one thing you can do is invest in depth in your offensive line and stop going through free agency to fill that depth, because obviously the free agency ain't good enough. Jalen Moore, get injured. You know what I'm saying? The number one thing I can tell you is I don't even know who the fuck Ben Bartch is. That's what really kills me. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is just fucking insane, bro. I mean, hello. There it is. CarCast speaking the truth. Thank you, bro. I've been saying that, but that's what we had when we had Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel would be like, nah, motherfucker, this shit ain't working. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? They would have run deep. There, see, look at all the facts in my chat, man. You know what I'm saying? People are smart as fuck out here, bro. I'm telling you. But this don't 39 pressures on 46 fucking drop. Do you see that? If I look and I see that my quarterback has 39 pressures on 46 dropbacks, that means he only had 7 opportunities where he could fucking breathe before he threw the ball. That's horrible. and not one touchdown, several interceptions. And both of them did it. The only touchdown thrown in the game was thrown by Sam fucking Darnold. And then he threw an interception. It was like, well, there's Sam Darnold. Like, this isn't, I mean, we had, let's just look at the numbers. we threw the ball 46 times. We ran the ball 18. When the fuck have you ever known us to win a game when our numbers are that lopsided for the pass? We don't. Whenever we have to have Brock Purdy throw the ball more than 25 to maybe 30 times, it's a problem. Now, I get late in the game. Yeah, you got to try to catch up, but you could have been smart as fuck early in the game and just ran the damn ball to set up the pass like you normally do. I don't understand why you decided to deviate from the normal fucking script that you usually run, especially at home. And another thing that killed me was at home, our stadium was quiet as fuck. I barely heard any crowd noise. They sucked the life out of that stadium. Pause. Like, that's literally what they did. They drained the energy from every fan in that stadium because you didn't hear shit. The Ravens could hear every single call. They could hear everything that they wanted to do. Lamar barely had to scream or raise his voice. They went in there and took the fuck over. They beat the shit out of us in our own house. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? And when you so lopsided with the pass versus the run, this ain't going to work. So let me give y'all some statistics. And I want y'all to think about this because a lot of people malign me because I don't just roll with the plan, and I don't always, kiss the ass of the team, and I don't always think the team is doing everything right. I don't think Kyle's always doing everything right. I've had my feelings about John Lynch. Hell, I've done videos on the fact that this nigga is all right in the draft. He ain't even great. Yes, you don't hit on every draft pick, but goddamn, he's not that great. I'm sorry. So when you look at these statistics, I'm gonna give them to you. Purdy in 2023 is 2-3 versus the AFC. 2-3. AFC team losses are to the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. All of them have formidable defenses. I know a lot of people may not say much about the Bengals defense, but it's definitely formidable. 7 TDs and 7 interceptions. So he's 50-50. He may throw a touchdown. He may throw a pick. We don't know. Yes, 4 of those 7 came in this game. I get it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So he's taking 12 sacks out of those 5 games. So that means he's averaging almost 2.5 sacks a game. All right. And Kyle Shanahan, when going into the fourth quarter trailing by 8 points or more, is a failure. He's 0-37. He is a failure at that. That a flat out fail. So it looked like this. If we go into the fourth quarter and we down by more than 8, I'm just gonna stop watching the game because Kyle ain't pulling no comeback. And I'm sorry, this is no disrespect to Brock Purdy, but he can't bring us back. The only game out of those 3 losses that we had that he had a chance was in Cleveland, and it was raining and windy, and he did drive us down the field. We could have probably gotten into better position for Jake Moody, but we got where we got, and the wind did blow his field goal away because we possibly could have won that game had that not happened. But either way, I'm sorry. Every game we were down, there wasn't no magic from Brock Purdy to bring us back. We were cooked. It was it. There was no bringing us back. Lamar Jackson, in his career, is 20-1 versus the NFC. We beat the Ravens in almost every category offensively, but still lost. The only TD pass was thrown by Sam Darnold. And we had a makeshift O-line for the fourth quarter. What's going on, Kev? Appreciate you stopping in, brother. That's what I'm saying. We just got our ass kicked. And this doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell that you can tell me that Brock, I heard this lady saying something, and I don't know who she is. I just saw her on Instagram. This is one of the, sports show. And because I watch sports, Instagram's algorithm sends me everything sports. And she was saying the reason why Brock Purdy couldn't be her MVP, and I completely understood her. It was the fact that he can't do something with nothing. Like whenever he doesn't have his stars, he doesn't play well. Now, mind you, yes, other QBs, nobody's going to be great without their stars, but there are other QBs in the, in the game that can do something with nothing. Like, that's exactly the truth of it. And that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this right here, let me address this for 2 seconds. We had our whole offensive line go down in the game. We are at a makeshift line. And we come out the next week, and what do Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch do? Hey, let's sign another defensive lineman. We should do that. Now, I know I said earlier in the video that good offensive linemen are just sitting on the couch at home. But you watch your whole offensive line disappear in one fucking night. And the first thing their thought process the next day is to wake up and go and get a goddamn defensive lineman. Who the fuck does that shit? This is the stupid shit that I talk about that pisses me the fuck off. Why sign another goddamn defensive lineman? For what? We have no O-line. The only true Pro Bowler, the only true first-team All-Pro on our goddamn offensive line is Trent Williams. Aaron Banks is a really good guard, but it's easy when you're standing next to Trent Williams and you don't have somebody standing next to you that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. And I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Banks. I'm not saying that he's not a Pro Bowler. But he's barely a Pro Bowler. He's not overly great. Jake Brendel is all right. Spencer Burford, he's spending time coming out the goddamn rotation like he did last year with Daniel Brunskill with John Feliciano. Feliciano been playing all right. Colt McKiffy's the right tackle has been a disaster. It's not been great. He's had moments, but they ain't been consistent. So somebody tell me how the fuck you see your whole offensive line go down and your thought process is, ding, let me go sign a defensive lineman, as I always do. We have signed so many goddamn defensive linemen to this fucking team. It's not even funny. This shit is getting annoying at this point. And if I swear to, the first round of damn near every draft since these motherfuckers have been here has always been a goddamn defensive lineman. And everybody says, well, you got to build the D-line. You got to keep the depth, blah, blah, blah. You know what's running around all the time out there in free agency? Good pass rushers. You just got to take a chance on the dude and figure out if he works in your system or not. We seem to have been able to do that with free agency with a lot of these defensive linemen. And I love Chris Kasarik and what he can do with these guys. But let me explain something. It doesn't make sense to sign a fucking defensive lineman. We ain't got no goddamn O-line. Why in the fuck are you out there signing defensive linemen when your whole O-line went down last night? Come the fuck on, man. Where the fuck is your head at? Get it out your ass. Kyle and John, god damn. Do you guys not think? Y'all don't do shit. Like and everybody probably will give them a pass for that. I guarantee you there's going to be a bunch of content creators dick riding the fucking decision to bring in Sebastian Joseph Day. Why? Why are we happy about that? We don't need another goddamn defensive line. We have a billion of them. There's a plethora of fucking options. Take your pick. You know what I'm saying? And this is the shit that pisses me off. So you don't want to give CMC any reprieve and take him off the field and allow him to be able to get himself spelled. You have a great back in Jordan Mason that you refuse to fucking use. You have Brock Purdy throwing the ball, 40 some odd times and us running the ball 18. Why did you think against the Ravens defense, who is number one defense in the NFL, by the way? Why did you think against them that this was going to work? You thought these motherfuckers were coming in soft? They talked shit and disrespected us before the game. They didn't give a fuck. They went in there and whooped our ass and had more reason to talk shit after the game. I was worried more about the Ravens defense than I was their offense. Because once again, as I previously stated, we damn near beat them in every statistical fucking category. So it doesn't make sense to me how we couldn't make this happen. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, 241 yards from Lamar, 255 from Brock. The only difference is Brock had 2 sacks and 4 interceptions. Lamar had 2 sacks and 2 TDs. You know what I'm saying? Sam Darnold 1-1. Look at the rushing. Even with the smaller amount of carries, we had 121, they had 102. We threw to less people. He threw to more. You know what I'm saying? But Zay Flowers killed us. 9 for 72 in the TD. You know what I'm saying? All these dudes, everybody out here. The only other person that caught the touchdown was Nelson Aguilar, and that's because I had to look at the play because I was pissed at Jason Verrett, but he slipped. So I can't really get mad at him for slipping. You know what I'm saying? But then you look at it. Look at this. Look at all these people on their squad that made tackles. And then look at all the extra motherfuckers on our team that had to make tackles. You see what I'm saying? Some of them are special teams. Some of them are literally fucking our offensive linemen. Like, this shit is getting out of control, man. These motherfuckers had 11 passes defense. We had 3. They had 4 fucking sacks. And we had 2. We had 6 TFLs. They had 5. Look at that. I'm saying that statistically in the categories, we were killing them outside of the fact that we threw interception after fucking interception. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the shit that can't be happening. You know what I'm saying? We out there just getting ate the fuck up. You know, and this is exactly what it is. 14 carries for over 100 yards. You think Kyle knows that's working? Keep doing it. That's what I'm saying. You know, you got to stay balanced, man. And this exactly. Don't wait to watch tape after you lose. And that's the key to it, man. You know, and that's what it says. Yeah, and that definitely ain't. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be trying to outwit Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Brock is great with space and anticipation, finding the wide open guy, being accurate. He is not making known passing situations and tight window throws. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Terra Dome in the building. What's going on, good brother? How you doing? But these are the things that I'm saying, man. And I'm telling you right now, bro, like that's what we probably anticipated when we first put Brock Purdy on the field, with shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I can't blame him that much. You know, it shit happens, bro. You know what I mean? And we have more than enough depth on the damn O-line. And no, we still don't have an elite QB. You know what I'm saying? And Brock is gonna be as good as he good. You know, that ain't gonna make a difference. The right side is definitely a fucking liability. Yeah. Fans give Kyle a pass because, let me explain something to you. And this is something that everybody knows. But one thing, I'm going to give a shout out to my man Tony from the Locker Room Rant. Tony said it best. He said the 49er fans expect greatness. Why? They lived through it. They saw it. I seen 4 out of those 5 fucking Super Bowls. I can tell you right now, I expect greatness. I do. Every fucking time. There's no hope. You better be great. Don't come out here and be bullshit. And the reason that fans right now are so happy is because he brought us some kind of hope. We're winning. So we should shut the fuck up and be okay with the fact that we're winning and that we're competitive. And remember Chip Kelly and remember Jim Tonsula and remember all the hard years that we had and all of the down times that we had. That's fine. Once again, I will stick to this and I will die on this. At the end of the day, I don't want to just be a competitive team. I want to be a Super Bowl winning team. I want to be a viable fucking threat to teams in the NFC year in and year out, and I really want to be able to go to a Super Bowl and win it. Kyle has the worst luck in ever. He went to the Super Bowl with the Falcons. He blew a 28-point lead, lost. He went to the Super Bowl with us, got comfortable against Patrick Mahomes like a dumbass, lost. And every other NFC championship game he's been in since, he's lost. No matter what the situation is. Whether it be Jimmy Garoppolo's dumbass throwing a fucking pass when he's getting sacked, whether it be Brock Purdy last year getting his arm ripped off, you know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of reasons why. But at the end of the goddamn day, the man does not yield wins when it comes to the playoffs. As far as after that 2019 Super Bowl, we ain't been back since. I don't care about getting to the NFC Championship game. That don't mean shit. Getting there doesn't mean a fucking thing. These players are hungry for a Super Bowl. That's what they want. And when you go out there and handicap that defense by continually putting them back on the field in short yardage situations, and then at the same time, you don't give them any points on offense, you don't help them in any way, shape, or form, what the fuck do you expect them to do? They're going to look piss poor because the Ravens just going to keep scoring.
And I've said this before, and a lot of people tell me like it's a bad mentality, but I'll tell you this. And I think this isn't it is a bad mentality, but I can tell you this, it happens. I guarantee you there's a bunch of people on the defense going, man, I ain't going out there and playing my hardest. Why? They ain't scoring on offense. What the fuck we doing out here? I'm going to go out here, do what the fuck I can. I ain't about to injure myself or hurt myself. I'm just going to go out here and say, fuck it. That's how that works. You're not going out there and giving your all when you know your offense can't score. Do you really think that these teams push really, really hard when they know they ain't about to win? You don't really think that the conversations that we have on these podcasts don't happen in locker rooms? Because they fucking do. I guarantee you there's a bunch of people, when the Lions were fucking trash, I guarantee you there's a bunch of people playing for them, they're looking, it's the Lions. And it's an easy win. I'm not about to go hard. I'm just going to half-ass it. Hope it works. That's literally what they're doing. So don't think that what I'm saying doesn't happen. It doesn't creep into players' minds. It gets frustrating when you go out there and bust your ass and do everything you can, and your offense ain't doing the one fucking job that it has because your head coach has his head so far up his ass he can see his own goddamn thoughts. Like, this don't make no sense. Why would you deviate from the run and go so heavy on the pass against the number one defense in the league? And after the third interception, I'm not throwing the ball. I'm calming the game down. I'm slowing it down. I'm sorry. This defense is way too tough. Let me make them a little more honest. Let me run this ball a little bit down their throat and get them to focus on that. And then we can start getting some play action and some other things. Because they had Brock's number. They knew where he liked to roll. You know how Brock Purdy always likes to roll out? He wasn't rolling out this fucking game. They had his ass contained everywhere he went. And the thing is with the defense, what happened again? We wound up getting fucked because we had to deal with a running quarterback, and Lamar baked us. Now, don't get me wrong, he didn't run all over us, but Lamar Jackson himself was the top carrier, 7 carries for 45 yards and 6.4 yards a carry. He did have a long for 30. So if you take that away, that's 6 carries for 15 yards, so his average is fucking trash. But that 130-yard run burned us. It was not great. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is a part of it, man. You know, and it's all good. You know, I like what Kyle does. Believe me, I love him as a head coach. But I'm sorry, there's too many times where you do stupid shit and everybody doesn't hold you accountable. Everybody's like, oh, Kyle knows what he's doing. He'll figure it out. This isn't going to continue. We're great. We're this, we're that, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the goddamn day, I am sorry. When you are just playing oblivious and blind to some shit that's right in your fucking face, that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And no, I get it. I get it. But here's the issue. It pisses me off, Kev, strictly based on the fact that it don't make no motherfucking sense how you watch your whole O-line go down, but you decide to sign a defensive lineman the next motherfucking day. And no O-linemen aren't sitting out there at a premium waiting and ready to get off the couch and come and block for some goddamn body. But at the end, but what I'm saying is build that through the draft and actually draft O-linemen high. The last O-lineman we drafted high was fucking Aaron Banks. And it took him 2 seasons to get where the fuck he needed to be. But you got to build depth. But what do we do every year? We magically seem to draft at least 2 to 3 defensive linemen in a goddamn draft. For what? You see where the problem lies. You know what the fuck the issue is. So why aren't you addressing it? Like, use your brain. This shit just never makes sense to me. I'm sorry. Like, Kyle just does shit that just don't make no motherfucking sense. And I can't understand for the life of me why he doesn't understand it. You know, 105 yards and penalties, that killed us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just literally got our ass handed to us, man. So we got to play these fucking Washington Commanders. And I think we play them. I think it's another short week, but I don't know. I think everybody's talking about us playing Thursday night. Let's take a look and see here. Wait a minute. SF at war. Where are we at? No, we play them next week. We ain't even. It's not even okay. So we play them. We just play on New Year's Eve, which that don't mean that. Okay, we play on New Year's Eve. What the fuck? You know. So for me, it drove me insane that we went ahead and we lost this game. I get it. It is what it is. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But it's a trip. You know, there it is. Look, it was cool when you had other weed to smoke and you bought a new home where you could keep the folks. I don't see how this how this side of you can be provoked. It was all good just a week ago. And that's the truth, man. We pretty much kept him, we held him down, but the issue is that he still was able to move around and do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Brock Purdy was exposed or anything. I'm just telling you that versus AFC teams, he don't look good. AFC teams have him figured out. 7 TDs and 7 interceptions versus the AFC is horrible. Because that means for every touchdown you throw another pick. You know what I'm saying? And there it is. Hello. These are the things that I'm saying. So I'm gonna be on later with the guys from the Forever Faith podcast and Beto, and we'll talk some more about this. I got to get in here and get to work, but I just had to let some of that off my chest, man. It's driving me insane at the fact that we just still don't know how to fucking figure things out, and we should have had a way better game plan than what we had. That was stupid. That was ignorant, and it wasn't working. And I'm sorry, but every now and then the head coach got to be held accountable, and. Like I said, 1 out of those 4 interceptions were Brock's fault. But at the end of the day, when you see your quarterback throwing 4 interceptions, you don't put him out there and make him keep throwing the damn ball. I'm not saying that you completely go away from the run, but you make the defense honest. You get them focused on something else so that they're not ready for the pass when it comes. But to just keep throwing the ball, they're like, okay, we don't have to defend the run. We're not worried about that. Why? They ain't gonna run. They throwing the ball. This has never been something that's Kyle's, MO. It's run the ball to set up the pass. It's always been that way. So stop deviating from what you normally do. Get your head out of your ass. Get it together, Kyle. We got the game to win. Now, yes, everybody's like, oh, well, it's the Commanders, it's the get back game. Don't sleep on them because they could be like, you just lost the fucking Ravens. We got a blueprint. We might try. They might actually come out trying. So we don't want to go in there thinking this is a gimme game. This is the game we go and just beat up on everybody. You need to be careful because Carcast said it right there. Mooney versus Terry McLaurin is one to watch. I would tell you this. Terry McLaurin is faster than anybody on the goddamn Ravens. I don't even think Zay Flowers keep up with Terry McLaurin. They call that motherfucker McForrin. Do I? Because he moved like a goddamn Ferrari. He fast as fuck. So if he gets past Moody, we ain't got no safeties over the top catching that nigga. And we ain't got nobody, and Mooney ain't catching him. That's not happening. He doesn't have speed to do that. So it is what it is. But the Commanders are definitely going to play. They're not going to come in there and lay the fuck down. At this point, they know their season is over with. They ain't got no hope to get into the playoffs. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean I can't spoil someone else's playoff hopes and smile about it while I'm doing it. Hell yeah. We did that in our first season with Kyle. The last 5 wins that we had with Jimmy Garoppolo were against playoff teams. We were fucking up positions for everybody. You thought you had the number 1 seed? Nope. Came in here with the Niners. We punched it in the mouth. Fuck out of here. Now you're number 3. You're number 4. You bumped down to 6. Whatever the case was. Teams like to spoil your playoff hopes. So don't think that the Commanders are just going to lay down and stay down. They ready to come in there and play. Hey, we can fuck their positioning off? Hell yeah. Get they at. Fuck them up. Look what happened to Brock Purdy. Make him throw all the time. And I guarantee you this next game, watch it be more balanced. Watch us not be throwing the ball 40 fucking times. Watch us be throwing the ball more like 20 to 25. And watch us be running the ball probably like maybe 20 to 30, maybe even 35 times. I guarantee you that's what the fuck gonna happen. Everybody gonna jump right back on Kyle's dick. This doesn't make sense to me, man. Get it together. Get it together, Kyle. But hey, everybody stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed. I'm out this joint. Be back later with some more, man. Peace.